Prologue. A Berlin cabaret, October 1930. Lotte in evening dress.
The boys of Berlin, they are charming. The boys of Berlin, they are kind. They never will find it alarming, whatever you've got on your mind. Boys of Berlin, totally pliable, randy and rampant, that's undeniable. Maybe they're not entirely reliable, still, they're the boys of Berlin. See them lining the Kurfürstendamm. Money for sex is money for jam. Get a sample of what they're exposing. Feel through the pockets of their lederhosen. The boys of Berlin are in flower. They offer themselves every day. Be quick, because they fade by the hour, and soon they'll be all blown away. Boys of Berlin, throbbing and thrilling, out with the crowds in the Tiergarten milling. Quite inexpensive, wonderfully willing, breathtaking boys of Berlin. Boys of Berlin, their pockets they're filling, marvel at what you can get for a shilling. Others are planning on making a killing. Say a prayer for the boys of Berlin, if you care for the boys of Berlin.
Exits to applause, lights change. Scene 1, early October 1932, outside Friedrichstraße Bahnhof, the international station. Enter Gerald off the train, one battered suitcase. He addresses the audience directly. A big theatrical intake of breath.
Ah, the smell of Berlin. There's nothing like it. Sweat and mascara and spunk. More than you can imagine. More than you could take in a lifetime. Do you know there are over 300 bars in Berlin catering to a special clientele? Perverts with discernment and discretion. Well, not all with discretion, if we're honest. It's glorious to be back in the queerest city of Europe. A walk down the Spree, I think, and over the Moltke Bridge. A stroll along the river will be pleasant this clear, crisp day. There are always young men fishing there, though not perhaps for fish.
He starts to walk. The lights change. He is by the river. Pauli is lounging against a lamppost. Gerald walks past. They exchange a glance. Gerald returns. Classic cruising routine. Gerald produces a large cigar, goes to Pauli.
Haben Sie Feuer?
I think I have some matches in my pocket. You speak German very well.
Thank you, thank you. I trained as a linguist for the diplomatic corps. I can lie convincingly in 8 languages. The light.
I seem to have my hands full.
He doesn't. They are behind his back.
Do you think you can reach into my pocket? You can help yourself.
I'm much obliged.
He does so. There is a hole in the pocket of Pauli's shorts. His fingers grope around. He finds Pauli's member and is highly gratified.
Oh, charming, charming. Are you Jewish?
That is not a question to ask a German in Berlin nowadays. As a matter of fact, I am not Jewish. I'm from Coburg, in the north. We have no Jews in Coburg.
I know it, a spa town.
I was a spa attendant.
I beg your pardon, what is your name?
Pauli.
A charming name. You look like a Pauli.
Do I?
Indeed you do. Boyish, yet dependable. I imagine you as an ideal friend.
To me, friendship is sacred. And your name is?
You can call me Gerald.
Oh, you have an actor, Sir Gerald de Maurier. I saw him in a film. He played a convict imprisoned in error, and he escaped. He was hunted like a dog, the hand of every man against him. So kind and understanding because he was a gentleman. I cried when he was caught again. He reminded me of boys like us, all the world against us. Yes, I can see you are a Gerald, a gentleman, kind and considerate.
I am a gentleman, yes, by background, but I do not draw attention to it.
That is so English. I adore the English.
Really? You must tell me all about it. Though we would never admit it, we do rather like to be adored. Do you have somewhere we can go?
What about your hotel?
Oh, that would not be convenient. It is quite a refined and respectable establishment.
Which one? I've been in many respectable establishments.
I'm well known there. I have many business interests. They might be jeopardized. Do you have somewhere, some charmingly insalubrious apartment?
Insalubrious?
Unhygienic, run down, squalid, somewhere working class.
We are very clean.
We?
I share a place with several other fellows. It is crowded. We cannot afford other. And I am not sharing you with them. I know a bar.
A bar, that's much more like it.
A simple bar. No affectation. Just boys looking for work or love, and workers looking for boys.
It sounds marvellous.
Here, let me carry your suitcase.
No, that stays with me. Papers, you know, important papers.
They exit. Slow fade to blackout. Scene 2, the same day. Noster's cottage, a bar. A table and 2 chairs. Gerald and Pauli enter to it.
A table. Here.
He politely stands to make way for Gerald, sits after he is settled. Gerald accepts this as of right.
The restaurant in the hut. Well, it is a hut. I don't see much eating.
Here we eat with our eyes.
Ha, yes, very good, very good.
In English, it is Noster's cottage.
A cottage. Ha, that is more apt. It is cosy. A simple curtain over the door, simple benches. This is so authentic. No side.
Side?
No pretension. Will you have a cigarette?
What are they?
Players.
I only smoke salam alaikum.
Then salam alaikum you shall have next time. Waiter, a scotch and soda and a large brandy for my guest.
How did you know that I drink brandy?
You all do. You always do. Waiter. Now tell me about your early life in Kolberg. I want to know all about it.
I was born there before the war.
I fought in the war, you know, in Ireland, 1916.
I would not fight in any war, except beside the friend I loved.
There is that, yes. Let's not get morbid. Tell me about your youth.
We had a small farm just outside Kolberg, inland from the sea. It was very cold in winter. Cold and damp and windy off the sea.
Gerald comes forward and addresses the audience directly, while Pauli continues his story behind.
We had a few cows, but mainly grew potatoes. There is nothing harder than planting and picking potatoes. And what for? For nothing. Money was worth nothing. It grew worthless by the hour. In summer, I would go to the beach. There was a long, sandy beach with my friends in the Vondervogel. We swam naked in the sea.
By remembering their names and the story of their life. Of course, they will all go with you if you pay them. Anybody for 10 marks, 12 shillings and sixpence. But what they really want is a great, passionate friendship. If they think you are their friend, it works out cheaper. I must be careful with money. At the moment, I'm short of funds until I make contact.
He indicates the suitcase. He takes out his wallet, counts carefully.
Not too many brandies, I hope.
He turns back to Pauli at the table, sits again.
Do you like opera?
I don't know.
I can get tickets for the Staatsoper. Erich Kleiber, Marriage of Figaro. I know you would adore it.
Do you have to wear evening dress? I don't have any clothes.
I will buy the clothes when I am in funds. Where is that waiter? Oh, to hell with him. Might I have the pleasure of that?
He takes Pauli's hand and they waltz off as the lights fade, Gerald leading. Scene 3, late October 1932, another bar, Die Grüner. Pauli and Lotte sitting. Lotte is stylishly dressed in a well-tailored three-piece suit.
Why do you have to invite me here? I expect the police to come in at any moment.
They won't.
It's always being raided. If only all you boys would give up stealing or pickpocketing or blackmail.
Have a heart. We have to live. We can't all be as talented as you. If you don't like it here, why don't you invite me to the monopole?
Can't invite you there. Too many former lovers I must avoid. You have no idea how tedious it is. Love should be like that song in Words and Music.
I do not know this.
The new English Review by Noel Coward. Gertrude Lawrence brought the records with her when she came to Berlin after her filming. I met her in the Damen Club Pyramid. She comes here to shed her inhibitions.
Did you?
A lady never tells. What do you think?
He looks very complacent and sings.
Let our affair be a gay thing, and when these hours have flown, then, without forgetting happiness that has passed, there'll be no regretting one that didn't quite last.
Pretty.
There's one more that you would like. There's one that you would like more. Mad About the Boy. From everything I hear, Herr Coward would be mad for you.
No, I am now spoken for. I have found my friend.
Are you crazy? He's fat. He's ugly. And he could never be trusted. Besides, he's a Nazi.
I don't believe you.
When you introduced us, remember, he put his wallet on the table. I sneaked a look. There was a party membership card. How can you trust him? A fascist?
He has been good to me. Anyone who is not a communist is a fascist to you. The Democrats are social fascists according to you.
Well, they are.
I do not understand politics. All these labels.
And he doesn't like women. No, I don't trust him.
I do trust him. He is kind. He listens to me. He takes me seriously. His mind is not ugly. And as for being fat, there is something of comfort pillowing your head on a large, smooth, warm belly, sinking in the flesh, his arms around your shoulders. I feel so safe. Nothing can touch me. I hear his little trills and gurgles. It's like his tummy is talking to me. And then I sleep and dream. I dream of going to England, where every man's a gentleman, where I can work and keep house for him in a little flat or cottage. That is what I dream.
My God. Claire Waldorf is right when she sings, "All men are stupid." He will walk away. You'll see. I wish mine would walk away. They never do. Cling, cling, cling. Why can't we be friends? We're not friends. We were gaping for each other, and now we're not. End of story. Lovers can't be friends. No, not even lovers. Sexual partners. But no, they hang on to every pathetic scrap of memory. Do you remember when? You said you did. No, I don't. And no, I won't. I remember salt taste on my tongue between your thighs, and that is quite... Is that the time? I have to get to the Eldorado. It's the opening night. Conrad Veidt is performing the ceremony.
I must wait for Gerald. He has some business to perform.
Dirty business, I'm sure.
No, he is a businessman. Import, export.
Importing what? Exporting what? What can he carry in that little case?
Papers, licenses, letters of credit. He is a big man, a genius. He has many deals.
Lotte leaves. Scene 4, 1st of November, 1932. A street corner in the Hallisches district. Gerald is waiting under a lamppost. Shades of Lily Marlene.
There is nowhere colder than Berlin in November. The wind whips all the way from Minsk across the Polish plains. Where is Talman? Blooming communists are always late. Look at Lenin, late for his own revolution.
Enter an apparatchik of the KPD.
You're not Talman.
How do you know?
I read the papers like anyone else. His face is always in them. How do I know you're a member of the KPD?
He takes out a card.
Here is my card. My party membership.
My party membership. I've always supported the party. I was in Moscow in 1922. Fine man, Lenin, an inspiration.
The apparatchik considers a moment and then grunts and nods.
You have the list?
I do, and you shall have it.
The apparatchik reaches for it.
One moment. Herr Talman must have mentioned my commission.
But it is for the good of the party.
I cannot serve the party if I can't eat.
He holds out his hands.
My commission was agreed in dollars.
The apparatchik reluctantly hands it over. There is an exchange.
Here.
He hands over some papers, and then as Gerald counts the money...
You will thank me. I have saved you. If the party had found out you meant to chisel them, you would likely have ended in the Spree. It is a list of targets for the brown shirts and the planned dates of the attacks. Jewish, left-wing, trade unions, homosexuals.
Where did you get this?
Ernst Röhm's private office. Quite authentic, I assure you.
But did no one see you?
It was a private meeting. He was interested in certain specialist magazines from America I was able to offer him. I offered him a sample to peruse, and while he was deep in contemplation, on his desk, a carbon copy.
Thank you. Forewarned is forearmed. The party will remember this with gratitude. Who shall I say?
Better leave my name out of it. Say that it came from Pauli Gastern.
Explaining to the audience.
It will stand Pauli in good stead if the commies come to power. You know it makes sense.
Blackout. Scene 5, 4th of November 1932. The Mocha FD Club. Lotte in performance mode again. She is Diana the Huntress in classical tunic with a bow and arrows over her shoulder.
I love to swim in the Wellenbad, where the flesh is flaunted by the yard. The girls are easy and the men are hard, out in the park in the open air. Forget your clubs and forget your balls. Forget their lure when it's nature calls. Far from the city and from these four walls, the wind can blow through your wanton hair. There are lots of sights to see. Do you want to come with me? I'm going out on a deer hunt. Got my arrows and my bow. Some folk think that it's a queer hunt, but what do some folks know? I'm searching here. I'm searching there. I'm searching far. I'm searching near. I won't despair that a deer will appear and put me in a whirl. Though I've seen a bear, I'm very clear. I don't want a bear, I want a deer. I'm searching for a deer, searching for a deer, searching for a dear, dear girl. I've got a mind to try a few. I've got my eye on one or two. Perhaps I've got my eye on you. Searching for a deer, searching for a deer, searching for a dear, dear girl. Through the forest I'll pursue, but if a deer is not in view, perhaps a little pussy'll do. Searching for a dear, dear girl.
She acknowledges applause, bows, then holds her hand up for silence.
Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday we have the Reichstag elections. I don't believe in this rotten Weimar Republic, but one thing I do know is we must keep the Nazis out of power. The only way to do that is to vote for the KPD, the Communist Party of Deutschland. Remember, a vote for the communists, a vote for Ernst Thälmann is a vote against the Nazis, against Adolf Hitler, and against the thugs of Ernst Röhm's brown shirts. Let's drag the brown shirts down. Let's drive them off the streets. We have to save this town, get them in their big brown seats. We have a duty, we have to fight. It's no time for being polite. Fighters for right we are. So 3 cheers for the Antifa. Let's turn the brown shirts red. Now we must spill their blood. And when we're sure they've bled, trample them in the mud. Shoulder to shoulder, let us advance. Never give the fascists a chance. So let's all sing hurrah. So all hail to the Antifa.
There's the sound of a brick coming through a window and screams as offstage Nazi thugs lay into the audience. Lotte makes to go towards the fight to join in. The apparatchik draws her away.
Now is not the time. The party needs you.
He leads her away, protesting. The clamour rises. Blackout. Scene 6. November the 8th, 1932. Noster's bar again. Pauli and Gerald.
Waiter, a scotch and a large brandy.
Lotte says you are a Nazi.
I am not.
You joined the party.
I am a member of the RAC, but I do not drive a car. An organisation for motorists. It runs an excellent club. Look, Pauli, there are some things it is better not to know too much about. Politics.
Are you a spy?
Shh.
Waiter appears with the drinks, puts them down, waits to be paid.
Put them on my...
No. No more tab. You have too much debt.
Liebchen, difficulty. Temporary embarrassment, I assure you. Only till I get the bank draft from London. Could you be so kind? Purely temporary. I will, of course, repay you when my cash arrives. For friendship's sake?
On the word friendship, Pauli gets out his money immediately.
If you could settle the whole account.
Pauli holds up his wallet. The waiter extracts some notes. It is more than Pauli expected, more than he can really afford.
Pauli, my angel, you are truly 1 in a million. That was the act of a true friend.
He puts his arms round Pauli, who settles comfortably into them, his concern about money forgotten.
Tell me about your time in Kolberg.
I've told you everything.
I want to hear it again. I like to hear you talk. I like the sound of your voice. your rough country voice.
Kisses him gently.
Go on.
Where shall I start?
The steam baths. I like to hear about them. You were 16.
My father had died in the flu when I was 10. I had to work the fields, so did my mother. It was backbreaking, and I was still at school. Do you wonder, when we went to the beach, I looked with envy at the fat burgers in their striped costumes, in their bathing huts and on their pleasure boats. I stood outside the Maximilian Spa Hotel one day when I was 12. The manager came out to me. I did not know anything then, but I could tell he liked me. You look a likely lad, well set up, strong. Are you willing? We like boys here, willing and discreet.
Willing and discreet. Charming. It sounds a fine hotel.
It was. I met many gentlemen. My mother did not have to work again. Money was worth nothing, but I took food from the hotel. One day a year ago, a man offered to take me to Berlin. Berlin! How could I refuse? He was married, to be sure, but he set me in a small apartment in Charlottenburg. It was so exciting. All the lights, the noise, the crowds. And then his wife found out, he said, and I was on the streets.
Ah, yes. Married men. You can never trust a married man.
I have trusted too often. They always make promises they never keep.
Your poor, bruised heart. Why didn't you go back to Kolberg?
I could not go back. I did not want to go back to the cows and the potatoes.
But your poor mother.
She was religious. I would bring her shame.
But she is still your mother.
How can she be my mother when I am no son of hers?
Tell me about the boys again. The naked boys on the beach.
Lotte enters, excited. She has the remains of a black eye.
The election results have come. They're in the evening papers. The Nazis have lost 30 seats. The tide has turned. The KDP has gained 11.
They're still the largest party.
But they're not unstoppable now, and we can stop them. The Nazis now will never get to power. They have lost their impetus.
How is your poor eye?
Better.
She was set on going home from the club on Friday. The Nazis broke the club up.
That should not have happened.
You sound like you know something.
I have talked with Gerald. He is not a Nazi. It's something special, something secret.
Please, Pauli.
This is shite.
I really can't discuss it. Come, Pauli, let us find somewhere more quiet and sympathetic.
He gets up to leave. Pauli follows him.
Pauli,
He is my friend.
he is not your friend.
They leave. She calls out after him.
He's not your friend, Pauli.
Blackout. Scene 7. 9th of November, 1932. Unter den Linden, outside the Staatsoper. A Nazi is waiting under the street lamp. He has a swastika armband. Enter Gerald.
Ah, Herr Armfeld. You can always rely on the fascisti to be on time, like Mussolini's trains.
We are not fascists. We are socialists. National socialists.
Yes, yes. Heil Hitler.
Do you have it?
The passport? Of course I do.
He brings out a passport, dangles it invitingly. He is playing with the Nazi.
Quickly, give it here.
Why are you in such a hurry? The train to Denmark isn't for 3 hours.
How do you know? What do you know?
I read paper. A girl who was dancing at the Mocha Efti was set on by a gang. The paper called them hooligans, and now she has died. I'm assuming one of yours was responsible and needs to go away to avoid investigation.
We deny everything, but one of our lieutenants has urgent business in Copenhagen and cannot wait for the proper channels. The passport, please.
My fee, please.
He snaps his fingers in imitation of the Nazi.
5,000 Reichsmarks.
Do not be impatient.
Are Nazis the only ones allowed to be impatient?
The Nazi produces a wallet and starts counting out 50 100-mark notes. Gerald pushes his hands down out of sight.
For heaven's sake, this is a public place. If passers-by should see us, they'll think we are suspicious. Here, I'll count it later.
You trust a Nazi? Are you sure?
I don't need to trust you. You wouldn't want me to shop you. It would be so easy to bring you down.
I think in time we shall see who will bring who down.
You will always need fixers and movers like me.
When we have the Third Reich, we will fix things for ourselves, Herr Benson.
A formal bow. He exits. Gerald starts counting the high denomination notes.
1, 2. I wanted dollars, but they refused to use Jewish money. And I need the cash too much. It is getting time to make an exit.
Lights fade on Gerald counting. Scene 8. From the 2nd of February to the 31st of March, 1933. The Mocha Club again and various other places. There has been a subtle change of atmosphere in the club. It is sombre, apprehensive. Lotte's appearance is not light-hearted.
When the cold winds are blowing and the storm clouds are growing, cheer up. There's no need to be afeared. You can put up an umbrella if you find yourself a fella. Get out there and be sure to find a beard. A beard can be terrific for transforming you, so no one will be able to suspect. It can shelter and hide you while it's warming you, and nobody can possibly object. Yes, no one can be harried if their passport says they're married, because for married couples, everything's correct. So girls, if you've a lover, get a husband as a cover, and by the Gestapo you'll be cleared. If they're homosexual, the Nazis will not vex you all, for nobody can argue with a beard. We will all start to grow our girlish tresses. Perhaps we'll tie it up in pretty bows. Away with the suits, on with the dresses. Sew on lots of frills and fur belows. You can look like Theda Bara, using hubby's best mascara. If the brown shirts come a-knocking, wear your hubby's best silk stockings, and you'll see that no one ever knows. So girls, it may astound you, but when you look around you, the lesbians you knew have disappeared. And any girl that's managed has found a way to vanish, because she's found a way to grow a beard. But not a Van Dyke, for heaven's sake.
She leaves the stage quickly without applause. The lights fade. Up again as she enters hurriedly to Pauli.
I can't believe it. Hitler as Chancellor. It's insane. We know what he will do. He has said it and written it 1,000 times. Of course, we expect it of Hindenburg. The president is senile. He rambles all the time. But those who advise him, those who finance him, are they so deluded to think they can control him?
It will not be as bad as all that. You're in shock at the news. I can't believe it's going to be as bad as you're predicting.
It's going to be worse, far worse. Already they are starting the roundups. They have closed the Mocha FT. They have smashed the windows of Magnus Hirschfeld's Institute. It is the end of all opposition. It is the end for people like us. Already they are building temporary camps. They make no secret of it.
We will be safe. Uncle Ernst will protect us. I know several of the boys who've been with Rome. Many of our kind have joined the SA, and the SA is 2 million strong.
I must find my comrades. Shall we fight? Shall we go into exile? I don't know what to do.
Exit. Quick crossfade of lights. Gerald comes to Pauli.
I must leave Germany at once. It is not safe to stay here.
Then I will come with you. You are my friend. I have lived with you these 6 months. I can make a new life in England. Yes, with you. With you. We will have a cottage in the country, in Isleworth. That is your home, yes? I will cook steak and kidney pudding, just the way you like it. And in the evening, we will go to the pub and drink beer and eat muffins outside.
Gerald is getting evasive.
Of course, you will need a passport.
You are right. There is no time to lose. You will help me. You have connections.
Perhaps not. Not anymore.
You have done so much for others. You can do it for me, I know.
I assure you, I will try.
I know you can do it. You can do anything. You are my man, my friend, and I love you.
Yes.
Do you love me?
Gerald looks deep in his eyes.
What do you think?
A quick peck on the forehead or the arm and a hasty exit. Quick crossfade of lights. Enter Lotte.
They have closed the KPD HQ. They say it will be the office of the local Gauleiter. They're clearing it out. It's full of brown shirts going through the papers. The Hitler Youth are burning everything they can. Brecht has fled to Prague. Weil has gone to Paris. I've been warned to flee, but I wouldn't get a passport. I'm too well known.
Perhaps Gerald can get you a passport. He's getting me a passport. We can all live together in Isleworth.
Pauli, stop dreaming. Be realistic. Have you thought about what I said? Will you marry me? If we marry, we can protect each other. I can start performing for the Nazis. People still need to be entertained. They're opening new pubs with happy, vacant songs.
Could you do that?
Others can, I can. Sally Engler can write a play in praise of Adolf Hitler. Ruth Rolling put queer Berlin on the map with her guide to lesbian bars. Now she writes a novel against the Jews. I could do it if I had to survive. One day the communists will return and I will be ready to join them. Everything else will be idle gossip if I am married to you. I could even change my name. Frau Gaston. Frau Lotte Gaston. How does that sound?
A pause. Pauli is very conflicted.
I must go. I must go with my friend. He will need me.
And am I not your friend? Your oldest friend? Will you leave me to their mercy?
Come with us. Please.
Gerald is not the altruist you think. He does not like women. He will not do it for me.
But I can ask. Please.
I will not beg men like Gerald.
But you will lick Hitler's arse.
Quick fade of lights. Lights up again on Pauli on his own with a sheet of paper, reading.
My dearest Pauli, my sweet, sweet friend. There is no easy way to break this to you. To cut a long story short, I could not get a passport for you.
Lights up on Gerald, whose voice comes in a duet and gradually takes over.
I tried my damnedest, really I did, but the red tape is a nightmare and will not take less than a month, which I can ill afford.
Pauli visibly collapses like a burst balloon. He sobs silently, his shoulders heaving. Gerald solo, other lights slowly dimming to leave him in a single spot.
I have, of course, found passports in the past through less orthodox channels, but circumstances changed. I can't know promoted to other offices or exiled to a camp. This is not the time to ask for favours. So I will have to leave you. I leave with the most sincere regret. I wish it were not so with all my heart. And one day in a finer world, maybe we'll be reunited and have that cottage we dreamed of. You have been a precious, blessed friend. I will remember only with gratitude. I was always carry you close to my heart, like your picture in my wallet. Take care, my precious angel. I will be thinking of you, and I hope watching with you. Farewell, Pauli, or maybe au revoir.
Gerald takes Pauli's picture out of his wallet, looks at it.
The conversation left a lot to be desired, but the intercourse was bliss.
He tears up the photo and scatters the pieces to the audience.
What would you do? How could I take him back to London? They don't like foreigners in Isleworth. Besides, I think my wife might object.
He goes through his pockets, produces 2 passports, weighs between the 2.
Gerald Hamilton, Cosmo Fanshawe. I rather like the name Cosmo. New name, new phase, new life.
He picks up his suitcase and exits. A lights change. Wedding music. Pauli and Lotte enter solemnly dressed as bride and groom. They turn up stage and freeze. As they do so, the Nazi from before, now a high official in the Interior Ministry, steps into a spotlight. He is looking intently at the sheets of paper which Gerald handed to the apparatchik a few months earlier. There is a note attached to the front of them by paperclip. He peers at this to try and identify illegible handwriting. Slowly.
Pauli Gaston.
He produces a notebook and writes the name in it.
Pauli Gaston.
He looks at the paper again, decisive, brutal.
Pauli Gaston.
He takes the paper and crushes it in his hand. The music swells discordantly, a herald of what's to come. Adolf Hitler's first speech as Chancellor in the Reichstag in February 1933 rises slowly to full volume. Snap blackout. The